Okay, so I'm using Adobe After Effects 2024, but you can pretty much use any version of Adobe After Effects, it will work fine. But if for some reason you cannot see some of the panels which you can see on my screen, you can basically go to Window and enable it from here. For example, Character, Character. And you pretty much can enable any panel which you can see on my screen. So first thing which we want to do is to create new composition. You can just click here, left mouse click on it, and let's type here BG for background. Because this effect of logo reveal and text reveal, we will start from creating a background. Here we will set 1920 by 1080, which is basically full HD. Frame rate, we can set it to 30, which is basic. And duration we can set to maybe like 15 seconds. So basically here is frames, seconds, minutes, and hours. And then click OK. So we've created our new composition, and now we need to import our video for background. So for this, we want to go to File, Import, File, and select these both videos which I provided in Resource tab to this class for you to download, and click Import. So let's left mouse click on this video and drag on timeline here in our background composition which we've just created, and let go of left mouse click. So basically we've dropped our video, and we can press S on keyboard and make this 50% because this original video is at 4K. Which is really good quality. And at the end of this class, I'm going to show you where you can download a lot more of these backgrounds to use for your custom logo reveals. So first thing which you can see is this video takes about 12 seconds, and our logo reveal should be around like 4 or 5 seconds. So it would be not so long. So what we can do, we can just change the duration of this clip. Basically, we can select this layer and right mouse click on it and go to Time. Enable time remapping. So basically these two keyframes represents the duration of this video. If I'm gonna select this keyframe and just left mouse click and hold and drag to the left, I'm basically speeding up this video. So now it takes only about 1.5 seconds. So this is not quite what we want. We want to make a bit more interesting speeding up animation. So we can just press Ctrl Z to undo this step. So we will see this keyframe at the moment where it was. And basically we want to speed up this first part of the video just before this circle fully appears. So just about here, we need to click here to create a new keyframe. Just left mouse click here and you'll create a new keyframe. And let's create another one just before this zoom in animation. So maybe just about here, we can create another keyframe. So now basically we want to speed up this part. And if we will speed up this part only just by selecting this keyframe, this part will be extended. And this is not quite what we want. We want to keep this part of the video at the same speed and speed up only this part. So basically you need to select all of these 3 keyframes, just left mouse click, hold, and select all of them. And just move it just about to 0.5 seconds, like here. You can change the size of your timeline just by clicking here to resize it, so you'll see the whole video. So basically now this part is sped up, then this goes as it was, and also this part goes as it was. So let's select these 2 keyframes and also speed up here. So maybe let's make it like 3 seconds, so it will go. And then here about at 4 seconds, we can speed up this final part. So now if I'm gonna press 0 on numpad, you can see that this first part sped up. Then we have this really nice animation. And zoom in, also a bit sped up. And by the way, what is cool about this background is that it's completely loopable. Basically what it means that you can hold Alt key on keyboard and left mouse click on the stopwatch to be able to type here an expression. And let's type here loop and select this loop out expression and just click anywhere, just like this. And now this animation completely seamless. And once again, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you where you can get a lot more of these kind of videos. So if I'm going to press 0 numpad, you can see that we have this real nice animation, which completely loops. And with these keyframes, you can always adjust the speed of the animation. So in my case, I'm pretty happy with this. One thing which I want to add to make this look a bit more interesting is to add a bit of glow. So we can go to Effects and Presets. You can find this panel here. If you cannot see this panel, you can go to Window and enable it from here, Effects and Presets. Just click on it and wait it to load up, and then just type glow. we need this stylize glow. Select it and drop it on this video. So basically here we can just set a threshold. We can change the radius. As I'm changing this radius, we're getting this glow a bit more blurrier, which is exactly what we want because I've used in my example something like 512. So we get a lot of this glow. And with this threshold, we can introduce which colors we want to use as a glow. As you can see, if I'm going to 100%, we're basically losing this glow. So let's change it to a bit smaller value. In my case, I've used something like 91. So basically, before and after, you can see that we've added this little glow, which makes this animation a bit more shinier. But you can play around with these values to see what you like best. Another thing which we can do, we can select this glow and press Ctrl D on keyboard. As you can see, I've pressed Ctrl D, and basically it duplicated this effect. So with this second glow, I want to go to 100%. So basically to eliminate all unwanted colors. And basically I want to make this radius even bigger. So let's go to a value of 1000. So we have this really nice and big glow. At this point, it's a bit too much. So let's go to glow intensity and let's set it to 0.2. So we will keep it pretty subtle, just like this. And one last thing which I want to add is go to effects and presets and type here curves. And here under color correction curves, left mouse click, hold and drag here below this glow. So with this curve effect, we can add some contrast just by left mouse click on this curve and dragging up just a tiny bit to make it a bit brighter, as you can see. And here, just left mouse click and drag it along this bottom part. So basically we would add in this nice little contrast, which basically makes this a bit little tidier. But you can play around with these curves to make the adjustments which you like. So at this point, we can save all of our progress. We can go to File, Save. It's a good idea because sometimes After Effects can crash. So it's a good idea to save your project from time to time. And save wherever you want on your computer. And click Save. Okay, so we've created our background animation with this really nice glow. And now let's go to Project and create another composition. We can just left mouse click here or go to Composition, New Composition. And let's call it Your Logo Here. Because in this composition, you'll be able to drag and drop your logo to use as a footage for this logo reveal. And leave all of this as it was and click OK. So here we can just drag and drop this example logo, or you can already drop your own logo to use it for this animation. And also we want to create another composition. So let's left mouse click on it and let's call it Logo Reveal Main. This will be our main composition, which we will render at the end. So let's click OK. So in this main composition, we can just drag and drop our BG. And also we want to drop our logo. So basically we can see our background and our logo. As you can see at this moment, our logo is too big. So let's go to Your Logo Here, to this composition, select this layer and press S, and let's make it smaller. So in my case, I've set it to 57. So to get a right timing of logo reveal, so it would look like it stays behind of this circle, we want to go to Your Logo Here composition and drag and drop our BG inside of it. We can even select it and press Enter and call it Matte or Mask. So basically we will use this composition as a matte or mask to show our logo with the same timing as our animation of the background. So what we want to do is to find this moment where we have this circle completely appeared on our screen. And let's go to this rectangle tool, left mouse click and hold, and choose this ellipse tool. If we will click here in the middle, just left mouse click and drag, and if we will hold Control and Shift, it will create a perfect circle just from the point where we clicked. In our case, is from the center. So we can create this nice little circle. So just make it about at the edges of our background animation. Then we want to blur these edges. So let's click here to open this mask properties. And let's set it maybe like to 70. So as you can see, our edges are blurred. And we can also create a keyframe to our mask path, basically for this circle line. So let's create a keyframe about here, just about here where this circle got bigger. So in my case, it's about 1 second. And let's move to this point where it just appears on the screen. So here we can just simply select it, this selection tool. With this selection tool, we need to double click on one of the points of this circle. So let's left mouse double click on this point and let's resize it. You can hold Control, so it will resize from the center and just resize to same kind of shape as our background animation. And then what we want to do is to go to Preview panel. If you cannot see this Preview panel, you can go to Window and enable it from here, Preview, and just return one frame back. So let's click on this button. So it will go just one frame. And here, what we want to do is double click on this mask and just simply remove from the screen, just like this. So basically what we've done, moved it out of the way and it will appear just here at this moment. So as you can see, we've created these keyframes. So let me quickly tell you what keyframe does. Basically, keyframes are points in time which remembers the value of certain properties. In our case, these keyframes remembers the shape of our property mask path. So basically, it remembered to stay at this shape in this moment in time. In this one frame earlier, we moved this shape out of the frame. So it will even remember the position of this shape. So basically, it will appear here, and then it will go to this shape. And if we will scroll through, you can see how After Effects goes from this shape to this one, just like this. So this is exactly what we want. We want to use this layer as a mask. So let's change this mode. If you cannot see this mode, you need to click here on Toggle Switches and Modes to click until you'll see it. And under this mode, you need to click here and change it to Stencil Alpha. And basically what it does, it reveals everything which is behind. Basically everything which is below of this layer will be revealed with this animation which we just created. So if I'm gonna press 0 numpad, you can see this nice little reveal. And we can even change this work area just by clicking on this edge to see only this 3 seconds. So let's press 0 numpad to see how it looks. So it looks pretty fine, but one thing which I want to add is a little scale animation on this logo, so it would look a bit more interesting. So let's press S on keyboard to see the scale property and create a keyframe by clicking on this stopwatch. And once again, with this keyframe, we want to save this size of our logo, our scale. And here at the beginning, we want to make it a lot smaller. So something like this. As you can see, it got smaller. So it will go from 14% to a 57% to make this kind of animation. But we can create this animation a bit smoother. I'm gonna select this keyframe and go to Graph Editor by clicking here. And just make sure that here, under this icon, you've clicked on this Edit Speed Graph to see the same graph as I'm seeing on my screen. Then you need left mouse click and hold on this little handle on this dot and drag it down and to the left. Basically with this graph, it means that it will go fast and slower towards the end. So let's go out from this graph editor by clicking here. And now let's press 0 numpad to see how it looks. So now as you can see, we have this really smooth animation, and we can even spread these keyframes a bit more to have this animation a bit slower. And we can even go to our logo reveal main composition to see this all together just about to 3 seconds. So let's also change this work area to pre-render only these 3 seconds. And to preview this, we need to press 0 on numpad. So now as you can see, we have this nice logo reveal. So now it kind of looks like it's behind this circle. And to time it a bit better, we can just simply select your logo here and just move it to the right a bit. So basically it will start a few seconds later. So now we kind of having this like little shadow, which looks pretty cool. And to make it even more interesting, we can add a bit of like reflections of this animation on top of our logo. So for this, we want to select this background layer and press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Select it and place it above. We can set it to screen, so it will overlay on top of our logo. And as you can see, everything got brighter. And what we want to do with this layer, we want to add a transform effect. So let's type here transform. And here under distort, select this transform and place it on this background composition. We can even select it and press enter, and let's call it reflection. So with this scale, we can just resize it, and maybe let's set it to 45. So it will be just on the edges of our logo, just like this. Then we can go to our your logo here composition, and we need to select this matte layer which we've created for this animation. Select it and press Ctrl C to copy, and go to logo reveal main and press Ctrl V to paste. So basically with this matte, we want to cut out our reflection, because if I'm gonna solo this layer, you can see that it's like a rectangle and it's not quite what we want. So basically what we want to change the mode of this matte layer, change it to normal, and then we will use it as a mask. To see this track matte, you need to click here to be able to see it. And then with this pick whip, you need to select it and drag it up to this matte composition. And just like this, it will follow the mask which we created here. So let's unsolo this layer to see how it looks all together. It looks pretty cool, but one thing which I want to add is a little bit of distortion. And also I want to see only on our logo. As you can see, I'm still seeing these like bits of background, which I don't want to see. So for this, I want to go to Effects and Presets and type CC Blobbilize. So here under Distort, select this effect CC Blobbilize and drop it on Reflection. So now we can open this blobbiness setting and change this blob layer to our logo, which basically makes this effect work only inside of our logo, which now really looks like we have some reflection on top of our logo. With this softness, we can change how tight to the edges this reflection should be. In my case, on the logo, it worked pretty well at 9, but if we will use a text, I would consider you to try something like 5. So let's set it to 9, as we have a logo now, and a bit later I'm going to show you how to use a text. And let's just press 0 numpad to see how it looks. So now as you can see, we have really nice reflections on our logo. Let me quickly show you how you can use text instead of logo. Basically, let's go to your logo here composition and just use this horizontal type tool, left mouse click on it, and just simply left mouse click, hold and drag like this to create a box in which we can type. So in my case, I'm gonna type just MJake class and change the selection tool. And I'm going to go to a character panel. If you cannot see this character panel, you can go to window and enable it from here, character. And here you basically can change the size and change any font and basically make any changes to the font itself. In my case, I like to make this class a bit bigger and a bit lower, so it will look visually like a box. And then I can go to Align panel. Once again, you can enable it from here, Align panel. And with these 2 clicks of aligning horizontally and aligning vertically, I can set exactly at the center of my screen. And this time I don't want to animate this scale animation. So basically what I can do, I need to set this time cursor here at the end where all animation is completed, and then use this parent link, not track matte link, but parent link. And left mouse click on this pick whip and drag and drop to this logo image. So basically now it will repeat the same kind of animation, which is really cool. Now we can just simply disable this logo and set it this below of this matte, so we will still have this nice logo reveal, in our case text reveal, and we can go back to our logo reveal main. And now as you can see, we have this really nice animation of our text. The really cool thing which you can do is basically to change the color of your text. Basically you need to select this your logo here and go to Effects and Presets, and let's just type ramp. Basically, I want to use this gradient ramp. Select it and just drag and drop on your logo here. And with these 2 points, we can set our gradient. You can use any gradient which you like. In my case, I'm gonna use this radial gradient, which basically makes this little circle and then ambient light. And just set to like some bright color, and this a bit darker, like from background. And once again, here in the reflection, with the softness, we can change it to 5 if you want to get this reflection tighter on the edges. As I told you before, it looks better with smaller value here and bigger, like 9, on the logos. But you can pretty much change to any kind of value which you prefer. Just keep in mind that if you will go back to your logo and disable this text layer, don't forget to go to your logo here and disable this colorization. And basically with this gradient, you can change to any color which you like, which is pretty awesome. As I promised, I want to show you where you can get this kind of gradients, is that you can just simply go to File, Import, File. So what is cool about these videos is that you can basically import all of them, but in my case, I'm just gonna show you on this example, and let's say this example, and click Import, but you can pretty much use any video from that package. And once you will get the access to these videos, you can just basically duplicate this animation which we've created, and just simply select one of these videos and hold Alt key, but make sure to select here and here, this layer, and we can just simply swap. Just hold Alt key on keyboard, left mouse click on this video which you want to swap, and hold MJake here and release. And basically, as you can see, it already applied our effects which we created earlier, and now we have this really nice animation with new background. And this is how you can easily see what you want to use for your effect. And we can just duplicate it once again. And let's swap it with this. Go back to this main composition. And as you can see, all of these reflections works with any other background which you can use. And I almost forgot. I also wanted to show you how you can create a little nice animation at the end. So for example, if you're gonna press T on this, your logo here, and create the keyframe for opacity. And here, just by the end of this animation, we can set it to 0, and you'll get this really nice animation just of reflection. And select these both keyframes and press F9. You can go to BG layer and add gradient wipe effect. Here under transition, select it and drop it here. And let's create a transition. Left mouse click here to create a keyframe. Press U on keyboard to see this keyframe which we just created. And here by the end, we can just start to cut it out. And with this softness, we want to make it a lot smoother. So let's set it to about 40. And gradient, let's make it a bit tighter. And also let's select all of these keyframes and press F9 so this animation will be smoother. So basically what we have got here by the end is a really cool transition where we can see only reflections and not our logo. So let's revert to our original video which I provided with this class. And let's click here on logo reveal main to see how it looks. So we have this really nice animation, and then it goes only to this glossy effect, which looks pretty awesome. And this is exactly what I've shown you in the preview to this class. So as I promised, let me show you where you can find all of these cool backgrounds which you can use for your logo reveals. Basically, in resource tab to this class, you can find not only this free video of background, as well as this logo. You can also find this text document, which has links to more backgrounds. Basically, you can just left mouse double click and see 2 links. If you're gonna follow this link, you're gonna get access to this page. So what is cool about these backgrounds? The most cool thing about this background that you can buy, edit, and resell this product an unlimited number of times. You probably heard about the stock markets such as Envato Elements, Motion Array, iStock, Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, countless others. They don't have this kind of licensing. Basically, if you will purchase something on these kind of sites like Video Hive or Envato Elements, you get a license on one use only, and you cannot resell these items. Unlike these products, which I provide here on Skillshare, that you can buy one time and you can edit and resell them to your clients or sell wherever you want on your website where you want to use. Unlimited number of times. Same goes to this second link, which is to my Gumroad page. Here I have this section, buy, edit, resell, which basically provides you with this license. You can also buy it from here, this exact product. And by the way, you can always click here to see the preview. which will show you all of these cool backgrounds which you have access to, as well as here. And I also have just clean backgrounds in same style, but without circle in the middle, in case if you would want to use a clean motion graphics backgrounds. Also on my Gumroad page, I have Premiere Pro templates, logo reveals, and karaoke titles template for Premiere Pro, as well as Adobe After Effects. So you can also check it out. But keep in mind that buy, edit, resell only for these products, as well as this one. Follow me here on Skillshare, and I'll be happy to see you in my next class. Thank you for watching.